So as a secretariat, as a program team, we had a number of priorities for 2024. What we call popularization and sensitization is a big part of our work. We also made it a point to ensure that this year we are able to bring together all of the knowledge generation that we've been doing under one umbrella, which is the ECOSOCC Resource Center. So it was one of our key priorities to be able to launch and operationalize the ECOSOCC Resource Center to really bring to bear, this advisory mandate that we have for people to see that ECOSOCC is working, is active, is actually pulling together the expertise of civil society. And then also we are still working on a number of civil society engagement mechanisms, particularly with regard to the continental accreditation mechanism for CSOs, as well as the institutional framework for the representation of diaspora CSOs in the ECOSOCC General Assembly. So these are two relatively important mechanism that we have to be able to put together and operationalize. We wanted to be able to finalize those frameworks and input some feedback that we had got from member states so that they are ready to be resubmitted to member states for their consideration and hopefully adoption. Then also this year was the year for the statutory General Assembly of ECOSOCC. So within our statutes, we have to convene the General Assembly in ordinary session every 2 years. So fortunately, we're able to actually accomplish the majority of our work plan for the year. I think in many areas we actually exceeded ourselves. For instance, the level of sensitization that we've done this year on a number of different continental frameworks. I think this is probably the biggest imprint that we've achieved over the course of our time here at the Secretariat. We've done continental webinars, continental town halls, continental awareness raising campaigns on a number of continental initiatives, including the African Charter on Democracy, Elections and Governance, including the Peace and Security Protocol, including the Revised Migration Policy Framework for Africa, and also engaged a lot with the diaspora. This year we're able to finalize the diaspora representation framework. We validated it with our diaspora networks across the globe. And in addition to that, we also had our annual People-to-People Forum, which is this annual roundtable that we organize to bring together civil society from Africa around the same space as their counterparts from the Caribbean and the Americas. So we've done quite a lot in that aspect. I'm happy to say that this year we've been able to finally launch the Resource Center, which has been the product of many years of work. We've been able to put together all of the different publications under one umbrella, which we are calling the ECOSOCC Resource Center, one of the biggest achievements that we've recorded in terms of the knowledge generation and really operationalizing the advisory mandates of our work, because we are there to provide information, to provide input, to provide perspective on an ongoing basis to the African Union. We've been working also on expanding our partnerships, and I'm happy to say that we've been able to sign a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, with our counterparts in the European Union. And within the context of this MOU, we are going to be working to bring together civil society from Africa together with their counterparts from Europe. We are still working to bring on board a number of partners so that we'll be able to continue to sustain the work that we have in front of us, which is important. So for 2025, we want to do more of the same in terms of what has worked for us. So for instance, we want to grow the Resource Center, to feed it, to nourish it with a lot more content, to really expand the catalog of knowledge product that we have within the Resource Center. We want to be able to finalize the member state adoption of the harmonized accreditation mechanism for CSOs, as well as the institutional framework for diaspora participation in ECOSOCC, so that we can finally get to the work of actually implementing them and making sure that we have one standard for providing consultative and observer status for CSOs who want to engage with the African Union. So that's really going to be one of the key components of our 2025 agenda. We really want to also grow our partnership portfolio. So in addition to the EU MOU, which we signed this year, we want to sign a similar MOU now now with the UN ECOSOCC, so that we can establish a tripartite mechanism for coordinating and mobilizing civil society behind the most strategic issues of the day. So whether it's at the level of the African continent, or it's within the context of the African Union, European Union partnership, or it's at the global level with the UN, to make sure that we have a consolidated mechanism for leveraging the expertise and contributions of civil society. As we move forward designing and implementing what comes next, that civil society be at the center of that paradigm. And so we see that the role of regular people, regular citizens, is going to be increasing, not diminishing, as we move along to achieve the target that we've set for ourselves, both at the AU level and internationally and globally.